What is going on, everyone? We are back with another episode. So what is on the agenda today? What I want to do today is make a automatic food farm. We're going to keep up the villager theme for this episode, but this will probably be the last one, so that way we won't perish like we just did at the start of the episode. So I did a little preparation before the start of this episode, kind of figured out where I wanted to build it, and I chose this area. So it is a pretty large farm, so we need a pretty large flat area. It is kind of in not the most favorable location. You gotta kind of walk in this weird spot to get to it. There's also really no other good flat areas I want to build it in, so we're just gonna go with this area. But we do need to collect some resources, but I'm just gonna get the foundation laid first, to kind of show you guys the outline of it and where it's gonna go, and then we'll go collect some resources. Okay, so this is the basic outline of the farm. Pretty much there's going to be a villager in this diamond. All these holes are going to be where the walls are. These weird heart shapes are going to be where water sources are. And then there's going to be another villager right here in this spot. So this is the pattern we're going to follow, and it's going to go all the way up 4 different levels. So now we need to decide what block we want to make this out of. I was thinking either a wood build, kind of dark oak, or calcite again, just to kind of match the house, match everything else. I'll figure that out, and then we'll go ahead and start the first layer here. Alright, and this is pretty much the setup for each floor. The only things we're missing is one, all the crops, and then the last things is just 2 minecarts here, a hopper on this level, and a trapdoor right here. And then our last villagers here and in this part of the farm. And then we put a roof on, and then we can start building this up layer by layer. So the good thing is, since we made the iron farm last episode, it's going to be no issue to make any of the hoppers or the minecarts for this farm. So we'll start with this one here. So now this next part is a little tricky because the way you place the minecarts is a little tricky. So when you place them down, before you even build all this up, you want to check which way the minecarts will face when you break the rail. So what I mean by that is, say I place this rail down like this, right? Place the minecart on here, and it's clearly facing towards the fletching table. So if we break this rail, you can see that it turns. So how you want to build your farm is you want the walls like this to be on the 2 ends of the minecart. You don't want it facing the other way because that can actually mess up the farm. Okay, so with that being said, what you want to do is place a rail on the hopper just like this. Then you'll place your hopper minecart on top of it. Then what you're going to want to do is break that rail so your minecart is just sitting on top of the hopper. Now what you want to do is stack a second one on top of it. So the best way to do that is place a temporary block above it, take another rail, put it on the dirt block, place your minecart, and don't move it because it needs to stay in this exact spot, and then break the temporary block. And there you go. Your minecarts are now perfectly stacked, which is exactly what you want. And then finally, the last thing you want to do is take a trapdoor and place it on the top of this glass block. So now what this is going to do is prevent the villagers from walking in between this gap here, so they can still talk to each other, but they can't walk out. And that's the entire first layer all done. We just put the villagers in here and put the crops, and then we start building up the second layer. Okay, we have our 2 forcefully enslaved. Okay, we have our 2 voluntarily employed villagers now. So we built this track, and let's send them off to the farm. And there we go. We have the start of our farm. So now we just have to wait for this guy to... Okay, we just have to wait for him to start planting crops. Now the only issue with this is if the villagers have other crops in their inventory, they'll plant those instead of what we want. So for example, if the villagers have carrots in their inventory, for example, they'll start planting carrots on every floor. What you have to do is kind of let them just plant stuff themselves and then break what they plant and get rid of it. So that way they won't be planting the wrong things on each floor. Also, I tried being smart with the scaffolding to try to make the cleanup easier, and trying to push them up this little ramp was a major pain. So yeah, maybe don't use scaffolding or just use powered rails. That's probably easier. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the second layer, and the way we do that is just take blocks again, put them on top of the glass here. But the tricky part is right here where the water is gonna go. So to make this work, you have to place a slab on each of these same spots, and then dirt will go around it, and then you waterlog these slabs here so you can still hydrate every piece of land. So you guys will see that, but let's go ahead and start this second layer. So the other thing I like to do is I like to be able to access each floor. So I'll put an iron door at the end opposite the Fletcher villager, and then you can access in and out, but the villager is not able to. We also put the crops down, so after a while the villager will fill up this whole farm and then it'll start producing. All right, and just like that, we have the roof on the first floor, and now we're able to start building up the second floor. I do need more glass though, so I have to go collect a lot of sand, and then it's just copy the same thing all the way up. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish all these layers, and then I will be back when I'm done. Alright, and here we go, everyone. The farm is now finished. It took way longer than I expected, but everything is all done now. I'm very happy with it. You will notice that 2 layers are empty still. That's because this layer here, this third one, I want to do beetroot, so I need some seeds for that. And then this layer, I was just waiting for this guy to empty his little inventory so we can put wheat seeds up here. Now, if we have a look down here in our chest, you can see that it's already working, already collecting some stuff, but this single chest is not going to be enough. So I will be changing this to an automatic sorting system, one for each crop and then a composter for overflow. So we'll work on that here in a second. But yeah, so this is the farm. This is how it looks. And the way it works is these villagers just talk like this. You can see them kind of talking. And then this farmer here will throw the extra crops to this guy, but the hopper minecarts here pick it up. And then as you can see, the villager just kind of fills up the farmland himself. So yeah, it's a pretty simple farm. So let's go ahead and put the wheat seeds on the last level, and then we'll start work on the auto sorter. Now, the only thing about this last guy, I think when the farmers harvest the wheat, I think they make it into bread. So everything that we'll collect from this guy will be bread, I'm pretty sure. If you really wanted just wheat, you would have to make this farm a little different with the minecart going along the bottom and fill this guy's inventory with seeds. So we're just gonna go with the bread using the composter probably just to get bone meal. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and start on the auto sorter. So I will have to go to the nether because we're gonna need some quartz for that. So let's go ahead and go grab that, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I have all my resources that I needed to get, and then I already have a hole dug out here for the item sorter, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, everyone, and there we have it. Our sorting system is fully set up now. So this first one here is for carrots, potatoes, then this will be beetroot, whatever the wheat produces, and then extra bone meal. And as you can see, we're already making quite a lot from the farm, so we'll have all kinds of crops. And then I'll go ahead and cover this up later. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video today, please make sure to leave a like and leave a comment telling me what you think of the farm. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.